When it comes to the type of irons that professional golfers are putting in the bag, I think a lot of people assume that they're using something like the Takomo 301 MB irons, a classic bladed iron. These are the hardest to hit, but they also offer the most control, the most feel. But the reality is, on tour now, you will find a lot more players using something like the 301 CB irons. The reason that a lot of professional golfers are going with something like the 301 CB iron is because it gives them the feel and control that they're looking for, but the extra perimeter weighting gives them additional forgiveness on the off-center hits. Because the reality is, even professional golfers don't always hit it right out of the center. And when they don't, they want their irons to help them out a little bit. Now, what you won't see a lot of is the hollow body design irons in the bags of professionals, especially when it comes to like the 6, 7, 8, 9 pitching wedge. Now, you will see some of them when you get up more into the 5, 4, 3 iron, that category, because they're not trying to work those clubs as much. They really want them to just go straight, high, land soft. So hollow body irons are great for that. They're not trying to work those clubs quite as much. But towards the bottom of the bag, like I said, the 6, 7, 8, 9 pitching wedge, those are going to be, generally speaking, either a CB iron like the 301 CB, or potentially you get closer to that 8, 9 pitching wedge, you might actually see more of a bladed iron because they want that ultimate control in those clubs. Now you might be wondering, should I put some CB or MB irons in the bag like the professionals? If that's what they're using, should I use it as well? And the answer is that for the majority of golfers, these are not going to be the best options for you, and it is primarily for one reason. You don't find the middle of the club face quite enough to get the most benefit out of these clubs. Now that's not an insult, that's just reality. And like I said, even professional golfers have moved away from the pure bladed irons to something with more forgiveness because they want their clubs to help them on those off-centered hits. To show you the numbers on why most average golfers should go with something more forgiving, like a hollow body Takomo 101T iron, as opposed to the 301 MB bladed iron, I'm going to hit, let's say, 20 shots with both of these golf clubs. I have the 301 MB 8 iron and I have the 101T 8 iron. I'm going to hit 20 shots with each of these, and I'm going to leave in everything, the good, the bad, everything in between, because I want to show you just how much difference there is in the forgiveness levels of these two irons, especially when you don't hit them right out of the middle. First up, I'm going to go with the 301 MB 8 iron, 20 shots. Cue the montage. Okay, there's 20, and honestly, that might be 20 of the best shots I've ever hit with a 301 MB irons. So I'm gonna switch over to the 101T 8 iron, hit 20 more. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of a breather though, and make sure I'm full energy and I'm not too tired for those. So I'm gonna take a quick pause. All right, now it's time for me to hit 20 with the 101T 8 iron. Cue montage number 2. That was terrible contact. Where's that one going? Huh, okay. That's crazy, that was so bad. That's the worst contact by far. That's crazy. That's actually wild. Okay, all right, last swing with the 101T 8 iron, and then we will look at the numbers. I went after that one. Pulled it left. All right, let's look at some numbers here. So we're going to start with a 301 MB. Important to note, I'm about a 5 handicap golfer, but my iron game is absolutely the best part of my game. And this was the best, probably 20 shots I've ever hit in a row with the MB iron. So you can see here, honestly, pretty solid results. Carry 163 average, total 166. Club head speed was 95 on average. Spin rate 76. But here's the big part here. You can see down in the corner is the plus or minus 4.3 yards, right? That's the front to back dispersion. So now let's go over to the 101 tees, and it looks like it's got a wider like left to right. Now here's the thing, while I did take a break between these, I was more tired on these shots significantly. So that definitely did play into it. But carry distance, 169 average, total 173, club head speed 97. It is a stronger lofted golf club, so we're gonna have a little easier time getting more distance out of it. Spin rate still 7,300. So all those are good numbers, but the plus or minus is 3.6. You can see that really clearly here on this chart. The orange window is a little wider side to side. Because I had these two shots right here where I just pulled it. I was starting to get tired, so I just tried to force myself to swing harder, and you have some left. But even with that, it's really the front to back dispersion that's the big thing, because there was some really bad contact with the 101 tees, significantly worse than I saw with the 301 MBs. But you still had a more consistent front to back dispersion than with the 301 MBs. So this is an interesting test because I am a golfer who, even though I'm a 5 handicap, my iron game is the best part of my game. And so I'm kind of on that line of, should I play the 301s or should I go with the 101 tees for more forgiveness? Now, recently I've been playing the 301, the combo set, and really enjoying it, but that's mostly because of the distances. The 101 tees, I don't necessarily need my 8-iron to go 170 yards, so bringing that number back a little bit with the MBs and the CB combo set is more what I'm looking for. But you can see, even for me, even though I would gravitate towards the 301 set, the consistency, front to back dispersion with the 101 tees is smaller. It's a smaller dispersion, so you're more likely to be pin high. You're more likely to make the cover distance that you need to with your irons, and that's really why the hollow body design for most golfers, especially golfers who aren't as confident with their iron game, the hollow body design, the more forgiveness is going to help you, whereas the professionals, because they are finding the center of the club face more than I do, and I could play these CB, MB clubs, the professionals, they're finding the center of the club face most of the time. So that dispersion is going to be really tight for them regardless. And for them, it's about that precision. When you're finding the center of the club face, knowing exactly how far it's going to go, controlling the flight windows, all of those things that really good iron players can do. So when you're looking at professional golfers, it's important to know that while some of the clubs they use might be something you should look at, maybe the putters or the wedges even, potentially the drivers, what they're using there, because some of them are going for just max forgiveness. Some of that can be really interesting information. Unless you are a really consistent ball striker with your irons, playing the iron set that professionals are using is not necessarily the best thing for your game. It's not going to help you play better, and in fact, could actually hurt your scores. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like, comment, subscribe buttons. Get in the comments, let me know what other kinds of content you would like to see. And as always, I will see you on the next one.